Hi there. This is our Mindfulness Parenting Communication program, part 3. And we're going to be talking about transitioning to relaxation and attention, relaxed listening and attention in conversing. This is one of my favorite sections. We're going to talk about how we release tension and then how we focus attention using some Qigong, Tai Chi, and yoga techniques. And so I'll show you a few of those. They're very gentle, they're very easy and simple. In my book, Do You Know How to Talk with Your Young Child? I go over quite a number of ones that are more vigorous and fun for you and your child. But these can be very helpful. And why would we do this? Well, effective communication requires focus and attention. After a busy day at school or work, we frequently need to release physical stress and tension, and we just need to settle down. I'm looking at my notes over here. I hope you'll find that my difficult talents in videoing are offset by the interest in the information that I provide you. But anyway, these brief movements are based on complementary practices that are quite ancient in technique, but they release physical energy and ground us and release that tension. The movements help us and our child relax. They can be done seated or standing. So, say for example, we hold a lot of tension in our hands and our wrists. And so by just stretching like this and doing gentle movements like this, we can release that tension and just begin to relax a bit. And so it helps our child transition to quiet time. But it also enables them to practice reciprocal motor movement. Now, what is that? It's simply repeating and mirroring movements that we're doing. And the ability to do that and to feel comfortable in doing that has been found by trauma researchers to really help people begin to feel a sense of safety and connection with others when it's been difficult for them to do so when they've been traumatized or hurt in some way. So to be able to do that reciprocal motion can be extremely important. For example, we want them to be able to feel comfortable with us and to feel safe as their primary caregiver. But what if you're a grandparent who is suddenly thrust into parenting techniques when you haven't been in the parenting role with this child since an infant and they're not sure they're comfortable with you? Or how about if you're a foster parent or an adoptive parent trying to establish a trusting relationship? And better still, what if you're an early childhood educator and you have this group of little ones that you really want to feel comfortable during the course of a day so that they can sit and listen, so they can talk to you and communicate with you and trust you when you're guiding them to do things or when you're asking them to do things. So the reciprocal movement, the ability to release muscular tension, the ability to focus attention becomes really essential in these basic communication skills, not only for little ones, but even in working with our subordinates at work or our colleagues at work or friends or committee members, what have you. So very good skills to learn and practice and just enjoy, okay? So the attention piece, our brains are enhanced by a flow of oxygen to the brain, and our attention is increased by that ability to use our brain effectively. The oxygen flow is deepened by deep, slow, effective breathing techniques. So I'm just going to demonstrate one to you. There are many, and many of those are fun and are demonstrated in my book or suggested in my book. But here's one that is very common and very effective. You simply inhale from very deep in your belly, letting your belly expand, inhaling all the way up till you feel your chest cavity. Hold for 3 seconds, and then release at the chest all the way down to your belly, squeezing your belly in, and hold for 3 seconds. And repeating that nice, full, effective breath several times. It also enhances muscular relaxation, but it does increase the oxygen flow. And that can also be changed with just a statement, I'm ready to pay attention now. So a number of these things are suggested in the book. But these gentle movement and attention techniques have been used in parochial school systems that I know of, some private school systems. And what teachers have found and administrators have found there is that it helps with social behavior, and it certainly helps with calming children down to a time when they need to pay attention in a reading class or a mathematics class or what have you. But the social skill improvement is really a lovely part of that. So let me just shift my notes here. As we cover the step of attention or focus, it's time to talk about that term mindfulness. We hear that all the time in the media, but what does that really mean in real life? Well, when we're mindful, we're completely aware of who we are, where we are, what we're doing, what we smell, what we touch, what we see, what we hear. We're acutely aware and completely aware of our life in that moment and each subsequent moment. So that when we're paying attention, when we are mindful, we are very present to our relationship with our child. We're very present and can be curious, can be interactive, can be totally focused on that communication. It's reciprocal. It goes back and forth, and we're just open. And in a mindful state, we just are not worried about what happened before, what's coming next, who talked to us earlier in the day, what our problems are. We're just focused on the person in front of us and what we're talking about. We're almost finished with this segment, but what I wanted you to think about was, have you ever met someone or encountered someone who in their presence, you feel that you are the only person in the room or the only person in the universe at that time, because that person is asking you questions that allow you to interact, that are totally focused on who you are as a person and an individual, it's a supreme gift. And that's what we want to be able to give our children on a regular basis, so that it builds confidence in them. It gives them the opportunity to craft their answers to problems and their answers to questions that you might ask, or to give them an opportunity to tell you specifically what was meaningful to them that day. I can guarantee, unless there would be a catastrophe in your life, that building that kind of relationship with your child will carry on with them through their adulthood. It's a marvelous technique to use. So I hope that this has been interesting to you. I hope that if you're interested in more techniques or learning a little bit more of this, my take on it, that you might check out Do You Know How to Talk with Your Young Child? Learn the 4-step approach to converse and connect. It's available on Amazon, an ebook and paperback form. So thank you so much for listening. And remember that we have 2 more YouTube videos that'll pick up on some other aspects of the book, but in general, things that you might find that you can use on a day-to-day basis. Thank you so much.